white rhino are only second to the elephant as the largest land mammal on Earth, and is one of my personal favourites. Found in Africa, with the highest population in South Africa, and one of the big five, which includes buffalo, lion, leopard and elephant. Historically, they came very close to extinction due to hunting, but in the 1960s and 70s they were brought back from the brink. Now protected, the population is once more under threat from poaching, and an Asian market that has an insatiable appetite for rhino horn. This has left less than 20,000 in the wild. Despite its name, the white rhino is not actually white at all. Its skin colour can vary from grey to light brown. There are many different theories as to where the term white came from, but the most common is that it was derived from the Afrikaans word for wide, pronounced weit, describing the white rhino's wide mouth and upper lip.
Hi,
I'm Mike McNamara and I'd like to welcome you to Woza Africa TV. The white rhino has an immense body and large head, a massive neck with a large hump over the shoulders and a broad chest. The thick short neck supports the large head, which is held low to the ground in order for the animal to feed on grass. The wide muzzle, about 20 centimeters wide, comprises of a more sensitive upper lip, which is used to gather clumps of grass into the mouth, and a hard lower lip, which presses against the upper lip to sever the grass. Both lips swipe upwards, cropping the grass neatly. The animal, whilst feeding continuously, moves its head in a semicircle and then moving forward to repeat the action. No teeth are used to cut the grass, but molars are used to grind it up. They maintain and rotate their neatly cropped favourite feeding areas so as to not overgraze on them. They chew on soil to supplement minerals deficient in their old grass diet. Its snout has two horns. The front horn is larger than the other horn and averages 60 centimeters in length and can reach 150. Females usually have longer and thinner horns than males, which are larger and shorter. Most of the body hair is found on the ear fringes and the tail bristles, with the rest distributed rather sparsely over the rest of the body. Rhinos have very poor eyesight and can only see well at close range. They do respond to movement at greater distances, but this is compensated by a well-developed sense of hearing and smell. These are used for the purpose of communication and detecting danger. A rhino's ears are constantly moving and rotating independently in all directions, collecting auditory clues. If a sound is heard, both ears point to the direction of the sound. Having the head close to the ground facilitates the use of its nostrils to detect scent and related clues regarding territory, predators, and the location of other rhino. The most prominent feature of this animal are its horns. They are used as weapons of defense during bouts of combat, or to protect itself and its offspring from predators. The horns are made of keratin, the same material as your fingernails, and grow between 2 and 6 centimeters per year and continue to grow throughout their lifetime and are worn down through usage. Rhinos are often found wallowing in mud. This helps them cope with the heat during the summer months. A good coverage of thick mud prevents sunburn and keeps a layer of moisture close to the skin in order to keep them cool. Once it's dry, it acts as a parasite removing treatment when they rub against trees, rocks, or termite mounds. As the rhino eats large quantities of grass to satisfy his energy requirements, they also have to drink water daily, sometimes twice. They will usually make their way to water in the late afternoon or even after dark. If a rhino doesn't have a water source on its territory, they may enter another bull's area to drink. Generally, this is tolerated as long as it behaves submissively. They show submission by urinating in a constant flow, rather than spraying as they would do when they mark their territory. They will also flatten their ears and squeal to reassure the bull's innocuous intentions. If water is scarce, they can go up to 4 days without drinking. Bulls are fiercely territorial. When they meet in their boundaries, their reaction is to warn each other by posturing, but that's all. However, if there is a new territory to claim or encounter a female in estrus, the bulls will fight, locking horns and pushing each other around. This can start a fierce battle that can lead to injury, and sometimes this can be fatal. Generally, dominant males are solitary, unless they're courting a female. Although they mature at about 4 years old, they are not able to contend with other bulls for territory until they're 12 years old. Until then, they would be submissive with older bulls and larger territory holders. This way, they will be tolerated. The area that the bull defends is between just under 1 and 14 square kilometers. Typical territorial boundaries follow natural barriers such as watercourses, topographical ridges, and even man-made roads. They demarcate their areas through both visual and scent signals. They tread well-worn paths to establish and reinforce boundaries, spraying urine backwards onto the bushes and other objects every 30 meters or so. They scrape the ground with their feet and urinate on it. They also defecate and kick the dung to create a small trail as they move along. In some areas, they will accumulate large heaps of dung, known as middens, which they constantly add to. Cows and subordinate bulls also add to these when they pass through an area, but refrain from breaking it up, as the dominant bull does when he's marking his territory. White rhino females are very rarely found on their own. Being gregarious, they can be found in groups of up to 10 or more. They're also found with their latest calf, and even sometimes the previous one. Most of the time, the females live in undefended ranges that overlap with one another. Sometimes these ranges coincide with a territory of up to 7 bulls. When there is an abundance of food and water, these areas can be as little as 6 square kilometers, and during the dry or difficult season will expand up to 20 square kilometers. Mating will take place when a cow comes into estrus, and the bull will pick up the scent of the hormones in the female's urine. Once a cow has been identified as being on heat, the bull will prevent her from leaving the territory and chases off any other males. The cow may not be willing to be captive and will aggressively reject the male. Persistence of herding, chasing her, squealing and clashing horns may eventually pay off. The courtship will take between 14 and 20 days. Copulation lasts about 30 minutes and achieved in only one mounting. The pair will remain together for up to 6 days after mating. The white rhino, for its size, is quite nimble on its feet. It can run and charge at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. When stressed, they will bounce around on the same spot with its tail curled up in the air, turning side on to the disturbance or rubbing the horn on the ground. Cows are especially protective of their young. When fleeing from danger, the calf is always in front with the cow following. Poaching is the biggest threat to the existence of the rhino. There are only just under 20,000 or so left in the wild. The species is considered under threat of extinction. Medical use for rhino horn has been illegal since 1993. Poaching rhino for their horns is still an ongoing problem. Traditional Chinese medicine has used the rhino horn for conditions including gout, rheumatism, fever, headaches, vomiting, food poisoning and typhoid. It is also considered to be an aphrodisiac. To use it, the horn is ground into fine powder or shaved into slithers and then dissolved in boiling water. While there is no evidence that rhino horn has any medical properties whatsoever, many people believe it does, and sadly that drives the demand. Rhinos have been around for millions of years and play a crucial role in their ecosystem. They are important grazers, consuming large amounts of vegetation, which helps shape the African landscape. This benefits other animals and keeps a healthy balance within the ecosystem. Local people also depend on the natural resources within rhino habitat for food, fuel and income. As one of Africa's Big Five, they are a popular site for tourists. Ecotourism can be an important source of income for local people. By helping protect rhinos, we're helping to conserve their habitat for the benefit of people and wildlife. Also helping local communities and making sure the natural resources are available for generations to come. You can help with this by supporting charities such as Save the Rhino, Helping Rhinos, a UK charity, and Project Rhino KZN. For further information on these and other charities, leave a comment on this channel and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe.